Mattie McGrath wishes to discuss the redevelopment of St Patrick's Hospital in Cashel and the closure of St Bridget's Hospital in Carrick-on-Shore. And we welcome Minister Byrne on this one.
Thank you, Councillor, for allowing me to have this topic here this evening. And again, as happens most topics now, no disrespect at all to Minister of State, Byrne, Deputy Byrne. Minister Harris has just left the building. He was here and 5 minutes ago he's just gone away and just walked away and knew this topic was there. I'm questioning the Minister of Health, Deputy Harris, and demanding that he provide immediate clarification regarding the future of St Bridget's Hospital in Carrick-on-Shore. Wonderful institution. I salute the matron and staff there. A wonderful hospice suite. And indeed, Minister, only a few weeks ago, a colleague of yours in the Fine Gael Party, former late Councillor John Fahey, had his final weeks and days there, and I want to pass the vote of sympathy to him as well. And the service he gave a decent, fine public representative all his life, and sympathies to his wife and family. Minister, look, I've been trying to get clarification since I've been contacted since Sunday about rumours around this institution. There's a new hospital suite there, as you know, and there's step-down beds. We know how hard it is to get a step-down place anywhere today in the country, and the chronic problem that's putting back onto our acute hospitals in both in South Tipperary and WH and indeed the region of Limerick. We then also at the St Bridget's, a wonderful institution, like Clogheen, his sister one in St Teresa's Hospital in Clogheen, a fabulous institution and a wonderful matron there as well, and Walsh. And indeed, the hospital in Cashel stepped down as well. Tremendous institution. We are at beyond cuts. We can't afford to lose one more bed. We've lost mental health beds. We've lost all kinds of beds. The pressure then that's putting on the acute is silly. 17 billion now annually going into the HSE, and worse outcomes as regards respite, as regards step downs, and people to convalesce and to go back there after they get a hip done, if we have to send them up to the north to Belfast, or if they get it in Arkeen, or indeed RT, or in Kilkenny, or wherever. Serious concerns have raised that the HSE may be considering closing the vitally important facility in Carrick-on-Shore. I'm asking you to clarify, Minister, for the sake of the staff, the patients, the matron and the community. And indeed, Councillor Kieran Brooke and many others down there who are asking this to be kept, and many people have contacted me. I'm also asking the Minister to explain why the redevelopment of St Patty's Hospital in Cashel is now not expected to complete until 2022. A wonderful institution. Pay tribute to the former manager, Mary Prendergast, and sympathise with her bereavement recently, losing her husband untimely, and also the staff. We know that in June of this year, nurses at St Patrick's Hospital voted overwhelmingly for some form of industrial action in order to highlight the chronic staff shortages. 98% of nurses approved the ballot action, citing growing fears for patient safety as their key concern. The nurses do a tremendous job there, and the care assistants, and thankfully we found a doctor for there. But look, they're not being supported. They're short-staffed, and then there's pressures and there's wards being closed and cut back. Massive redevelopment announced there by Minister Harris, by Minister Kelly as well, when he was Minister, and indeed by my colleague Deputy Lowry. Nothing has happened. Planning Commission hasn't even been applied for, so there's no joined-up thinking. The beds are being closed in these places where they're vital to keep the pressure off the acute hospitals and keep people to convalesce for a few weeks, get physio. An excellent institution in Cashel, in St Patrick's, and indeed the rehab ward as well. And my late mother was there as well, and I know firsthand there are many more patients that are in there. But we need to have clarity. We need to have this building start to commence. Planning Commission not even applied for. Around in schemes and rhymes we're going. Across the road, 400 yards, you have St Patty's Hospital lying idle. That's why I was so adamant to the Minister be here tonight. I took him there a year and a half ago to see it with other colleagues. He was aghast to see 21.5 million or 22 million spent in that institution, a wonderful institution which I had my appendix removed there years ago, and now lying idle except for offices and offices. On the top floor, splendidly redecorated and redeveloped, and wonderful conditions, and no step-down beds. And anything happening, it's a bed-free zone, and it's a disgrace.
Minister.
To Deputy McGrath, on behalf of Minister Dáil, I'll be taking this on his behalf. The overarching policy of the government is to support all our people to live in dignity and independence in their own homes and communities for as long as possible. This is clearly what all our people want, and only those in genuine need of residential care should go down that route. The standard of care delivered to residents in public units is generally very high, but we recognise that many of our community hospitals are housed in buildings that are less than ideal in the modern context. Without them, though, many older people would have not have access to care for their needs. It is important, therefore, that we upgrade our public bed stock, and this is the aim of the 5-year capital investment programme of community nursing units, which was announced in 2016. This provision the framework to allow for an enhanced programme to replace, upgrade and refurbish these care facilities as appropriate. Significant work was undertaken to determine what optimum schedules of projects within the phased provision of funding is achieved, compliance and registration with the Health Information and Quality Authority. The HSE is responsible for delivery of health and personal social service, including those at the facility such as St Patrick's Hospital, Cashel and St Bridget's Hospital, Carrick-on-Shore, County Tipperary. St Patrick's Hospital in Cashel and its associated facility at St Anthony's Uni in Clonmel has an excellent reputation as a care facility. The hospital provides residential rehabilitation respite care to older people in the South Tipperary area. The hospital is registered with the Health Information and Quality Authority, and the minimum number of persons that can be accommodated as a designated centre is 102 residents. Under the 5-year investment programme, it is proposed to deliver a new community nursing unit at St Patrick's to replace existing beds when the physical environment requires significant improvement. The challenge associated with the redevelopment of St Patrick's Hospital, Cashel, County Tipperary, and in the context of the presence of the listed buildings on the site and St Patrick's being a working hospital. These challenges will be managed by the Health Service Executive as with other developments which such challenges present, and the HSE now propose to proceed this project via the traditional capital process and not through a PPP as originally planned. The project is currently appraisal stage and is proceeding according to capital planning guidelines, with construction projects to begin in 2020. St Bridget's Hospital provides convalescent respite and palliative care. The hospital is registered with the Health Information and Quality Authority in accommodating of 16 residents. In the latest inspection report published by HIQA, the inspector found that the residents' health care and nursing needs were met to a good standard. The feedback received from residents was generally very positive and indicated that they were satisfied with the staff and the care provided. The Deputy will be aware that St Bridget's Hospital is not included in the 5-year plan for refurbishment and upgrading. However, I can confirm that the HSE has advised the Department today that there are no plans to close St Bridget's. And I'll come back to
Minister, Deputy McGrath.
Minister, I did ask the people in charge of all the care in Dalmel, they reassured me by telephone, but I wrote to them and they didn't reply in writing. So that's why they're worried. So I want to lay the fears, and I don't want to be creating fears. So I want to thank the people that contacted me. They have the interest of the people of Carrick-on-Shore and surrounding difference, a huge area, County Waterford into County Kilkenny as well as on the bounds there. To thank them for contacting me and to praise the staff, and thankfully the HIQA report was good as well. It's a wonderful institution and it's flat on the ground. You also have the situation, and I didn't mention St Anthony's linked to St Patrick's, a wonderful institution that deals with dementia care and people with Alzheimer's and acute cases also. But Cashel is not moving fast enough. You said it 2016 capital plan. It's now 2019 almost, and there's no planning applied for. Works will start in 2020 or next year, you said. We want to see that work start. It's not fair to the nursing staff, who are dedicated, and the care staff, and the doctor, Dr. Willie Ryan, who's retired from it, but we've a new doctor, and I wish him well. Lucky to get him. There were worries about it too, but it shouldn't be scary. We should have the plan, and go ahead and do it. And for that matter, we have Clogheen Hospital, St Teresa's, who are doing an extension now and are short about 70,000 from your department, Minister. I'd appeal to you to try and find that money to now finish that extension. But we need step-down facilities to the pressure off of St Joseph's in Clonmel, South Tipperary General, and indeed Waterford and all the other acute regional. So we need those step-down facilities, and we need to have any fears about them. So I'm thankful that you have put on record here that the HSE have informed you that they are not going to close it. But I am disappointed it's not included in the 5-year capital programme. While the hospice suite is relatively new there, a lot of funding was done locally for that as well. So these institutions are so badly needed. And again, I wanted to pay tribute to the staff in those institutions, all of them, as St Bridget's and Carrick, St Teresa's and Clogheen, and indeed St Patrick's and St Anthony's, do tremendous work. But people are crying out when they get their hips done, the bed blockers you call them, there's no place to go for physio, no place to go for respite, before or after operations, and we need certainty around these facilities, because there's no point talking about 17+ billion in the HSE when issues like this, and above all, the madness of keeping St Our Lady's in Cashel closed when other hospitals are under pressure, state-of-the-art facility with 21.5 million invested in it, so it's a concern.
As all of us recognise the quality of work that's done in nursing homes and community care around the country, particularly by the staff and the doctors and the carers as well. Many people who have taken up roles of carers in hospitals have become a very essential part of all units, and particularly units for older people. The public nursing units are essential as part of our infrastructure, and without them, many older people would have access to the care they need. They will continue to be very much needed over the coming years, as the Minister said, a number of older people increasing in line with the demographics and trends. However, we must constantly strive to modernise and improve infrastructures and setting where these beds are being delivered by government. It is therefore essential that these beds are put on a sustainable footing, and the fabric of the building which they operate in is modernised and improved as well. However, in saying that, it is expected that 4,500 additional short-term and long-term beds will be required across the public system in the community nursing units, and other step-down facilities, as Deputy McGrath said, as identified by the Health Capacity Review. Just to finish, the Health Capacity Programme and programmes currently underway include a plan and investment in community nursing homes will continue, and Deputy Daly has assured me that it is in his role as Minister who looks after all the people in that he is very conscious of the fact that the work that's been done in many hospitals across the country and units, that probably the buildings themselves have been outdated, but the staff haven't. So just to thank the Deputy McGrath for that.